Hi everyone, and thanks for being here. As you might know, Nvidia has released lately the Nvidia app, which is actually in beta, and it brings a lot of new things, new stuffs, and new settings for making everything more easier. And also, it doesn't require you to log in. As you might know, if you use GeForce experience, that app is going to ask you to log in order to use all the settings and all the tweakings and all the configurations. So let's deep dive on what this app actually is bringing and if it's actually going to replace the control panel from Nvidia and also the GeForce experience, which in this case, it's aiming to use only one app for the control panel and also GeForce experience and for all the gaming performances, screen recording and so on. So let's deep dive on the settings and check what are the features that Nvidia app is bringing. So once you install the app, this is the home page when you can see all your apps, all your library, and all your games. So let's move to the drivers tab. As we can see here, we have all the details regarding the driver, the version, release date, and whatever. So here you can choose also between studio driver and game ready drivers. And you can even click on reinstall for reinstalling the drivers and choose whatever you want to set up with reinstalling the drivers. If we move to the graphics, here we have kind of combination between the GeForce experience panel and the control panel, the classic control panel from Nvidia. By the way, the control panel is not disappeared. It's still there, so you can just go through the settings on the control panel, classic one, and you can use that one if you want to. So here we have the programs or apps or games that you might want to use, and then from that you can change the settings. I would always recommend to don't change these settings, but instead to go through the global settings. So to leave the app itself, change certain settings. You don't want this to change here, but you want it from the app itself, which is going to be a little bit better. So what you can change here is from going through global settings and maybe enable the RTX dynamic vibrance or the RTX HDR, and maybe change the power management mode to maximum performance instead of leaving in normal. The other setting, I would recommend to change it in the game itself without changing it here. If we move to the settings tab, we have all the information about our system and everything else, and we have certain features that you might want to enable or disable, like the Nvidia overlay or enable the automatically download of the drivers and other information. Here, as we can see, we have the Nvidia control panel that if you click this one, it's going to open the classic control panel from Nvidia, the one that we always use for changing our settings on the Nvidia GPUs. If we move to the notification sub menu, you can enable or disable the driver updates, or if you want rewards and whatever else. And here we have certain information about Nvidia. You can opt out for certain information and so on. One interesting thing is if you go to the overlay here, Nvidia have made these settings a little bit more easier. So if you click on the gallery, you can check all your videos that you have recorded lately, or all the pictures or all the screenshots that you have taken. And here you can click from here for record your desktop and your screen, and or instant replay if you want, screenshot if you want to take a screenshot of what you're seeing on the display, photo mode if you want to start the photo mode, and so on. Highlights, which is going to capture the highlights of certain games automatically, which I don't recommend to enable this one because maybe it will somehow cause performance issues. If you go to this menu to configure video capture, if you want to capture using the Nvidia overlay, here you can change all the settings. Here you can go through the quality sub menu, resolution, frame rate, and whatever you want to change here, and also enabling desktop capture because, well, as the privacy settings, the desktop capture is not enabled by default. Here we can change certain settings regarding the microphone, on the game filter, and so on. If you go to the statistic, which is a nice sub menu, you can toggle on and off statistics for checking the statistics on your games, and you can set up here the heads up display. So as we can see here, we have all these sub menus here, so you can decide when in which corner of your screen the heads up display is going to be. Choose between upper right, center right, and so on. And here we have the horizontal position, all this information that you're going to see on the screen. Here we can choose between the layout, which is stacked, double, as you can see on the screen, is on one line, or stacked. As you can see, stacked probably is the best view in my opinion. And here we can choose the enhanced visibility, so it's going to, that overlay of this information is going to be a little bit more visible if you want to see that. And here we can choose if we want to see the icon, if we are recording or not, if you want to see the icons of the recording and so on your screen. Moving back here, we can customize all the information that we on the right side of the screen. You can customize all the information that you are seeing here. For example, we can toggle on and off the frame rate, and we can toggle on and off the GPU utilization, and so on. We can go also to see all these values here. One thing that I recommend you guys to enable is the render latency, which is going to give us an idea if we have some latency rendering the graphics and so on. Also, system latency can be useful information for checking the latency overall of your system. And here we can enable also the CPU utilization, which unfortunately has only the utilization, doesn't have any temps or underclock clock. And then end of the day, this is a statistic overlay for measuring the performances of the GPU itself and not for measuring the performances of all the global system settings. So that's all for the quick overview on the new Nvidia app, which is actually in beta, and hopefully they are going to add some other settings and make it a little bit different from what it was the GeForce experience and what actually it is classic control panel from Nvidia. So let me know what do you think about the new Nvidia app down in the comments. If you find this video useful and informative, please consider subscribing, hit the like button and share the video. Thanks for watching.